It's that zesty flow, no, she must flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that zesty.
Question in the chat box. Can you summarize the literals part? Okay. Okay. So whenever you hear a term called a literal, keep in mind that you are talking about value, right? When you say a value, which values are a valid and which value belong to a which category, that we have discussed, right? If you are giving a just a normal number, then it will be belonging to a integer, that means without any fractions. If you are giving a whole number, then it will be an integer. If you are giving a fraction, then it will be a floating point literal in the sense value. If you are writing any constant in a single quote, then it will be a character literal. If you are putting any value in a double quote, then it will be called as string literal, right? So this is overview. That means literal is nothing but a value. So value can be of any kind of a value. It can be a whole number, it can be a fraction, it can be a single alphabet in a single quote, or a n number of alphabets in a double quote, right? So these are the different values. Okay. So we have discussed in detail with respect to integer literals, what are the different categories we have. Okay. So integer literals can be a normal integers with a base 10, or octal values with a base 8, or hexadecimal values with a base 15, right? So we told that if you want to represent that particular octal value, prefix with a 0. If you want to represent a hexadecimal value, prefix with a 0 followed by x, right? So that was about integer literals. Similarly, we have discussed something called as a floating literal. Floating point literal, basically with respect to float, you will be having a two types. One will be a float and another will be a double. Okay. If you want to specify that the value whichever you are quoting is a float itself, then specify the value with the extension of a small f or a capital F. That means if you are saying about a floating point literal, then it will be a 0.5 f. That says that you are talking about a floating point literal. If you are talking about a double value, then it should be something like a 0.5 followed by d, or a capital D or a small d. Okay. So this is with respect to a floating point literal. Then we have discussed something called as a Boolean literal. And we gave a comparison saying that in a C language, your expression will be evaluated to either 0 or a 1. But here you have a support of a Boolean literals. So any expression will not be evaluated to 0 or 1. Rather, it will be evaluated to true or false. Okay. So you have a literal values, which is a true and a false. That means you can directly take some value as a true or some other value as a false. Okay. So Java supports your Boolean literals. Boolean literals are just a true and a false. Then we have discussed something called as a character literals. Any character which you will be seeing, if you are putting that particular constant in a single quote, then it will be considered as a character literal. So when you are putting some information in a single quote, when it is a character literal, it will not be directly stored as a character, rather it will be stored its ASCII value. Okay. Whatever the visible characters that are there, if you want to store, you can directly give those things. If there are some complicated kind of a thing, that means if you want to store a single quote itself, then you will be using some escape sequences to store the special characters. This is with respect to character literal. Similarly, you had something called as these are the some escape sequences. So if you want to store those things, what has to be done, that information. And the lastly, you had something called as a string literal. Any value, if you are quoting in a double quote, then it will be considered as a string literal. So this is what we have discussed with respect to literals. I have just highlighted whatever is the important point in detail with respect to each category. You have every point on the slide. Data types, variables, and arrays. This is what we have said in the last class that we will be discussing in today's class. Whatever the point has been displayed now, this is the strength of the Java. Okay. This is actually it is there with respect to all the programming languages, but with respect to a Java, it is like a more interesting or a more quick when compared to other programming language, right? We say that Java is a strongly typed language, right? So before we proceed with the other points, first we need to understand a few terminologies here. We know what is a Java, we know what is the general meaning of a strongly. Do we know what is nothing but what is the meaning of a typed in the sense you have a different data types defined, right? Int, float, char, all those things, all the data types, right? Now we are saying that Java is a strongly typed language in the sense whenever you are declaring a variable, whenever you are writing an expression, whatever the operations you are doing, say for example, if you are evaluating some expression or a condition in a if statement, right? Everywhere the expression will be evaluated to some data type only. This is meaning of a strongly data type, right? So are you able to relate to this particular statement with respect to C language? Can we say C language is a strongly typed? No, we cannot say C language is a strongly typed, because when you are writing a if statement, the expression there was evaluated to either 0 or 1, but not with respect to a particular data type. Here with respect to a Java, whenever you are evaluating a particular expression, it will be evaluated to true or false, right? Again, true or false are nothing but a some Boolean data type itself, right? So that is the reason why it is called as a strongly typed language. Okay. First, every variable has a type. Whatever the things I have said till now, so all those things are summarized as a points. Why it is called as a strongly typed language? First, every variable has a type, every expression has a type, and every type is strictly defined, right? So there is no conversion from one format to another format. Second, all assignments, whether explicit or via parameter passing. Where does the parameter passing concept will come? When you are calling a function, when actual parameters have been passed to a formal parameters, right? Either in assignments or in a case of a passing a parameters, everywhere the type will be checked for a compatibility, right? So if a types are a matching, then only the values will be passed from one function to another function. If a types are a matching, then only the assignment operations will be done, right? So why it is called as a strongly typed? You have two reasons. One, every variable, every type, every expression has been defined strictly. Second, all assignments or a function calls, everywhere you will be checking for the type compatibility, right? So these are the two reasons why it will be called as a strongly typed language. How the process will be done? The Java compiler checks all the expressions and the parameters to ensure that the types are compatible. Compatible in the sense, see, now you can put an integer value into a float, no problem. But if you are putting a float value into an integer, then there will be some loss, right? Fraction part will not be saved. I'm talking about putting a float value into integer. Fraction value will be gone, right? It will be checking for a question in a chat box. Can you explain what is data type? This is a very basic thing. That means without knowing this particular without knowing this particular meaning of a data type, it is waste of explaining all these things. Let me take a small example. In a C language, you might have observed that you have written something like this, right? So what does this statement says? Int a is equal to 10. That means you are creating an integer variable. Okay, you are creating an integer variable. What is the name of that variable? That variable name is a, right? Now this particular a will have a capacity to hold different integer values itself. It cannot hold some fraction values, right? So what we have done is we have made this particular a as some insert, the type we have given. That means we are telling for it now that you store only the whole numbers, you don't store the floating point numbers, right? So here in this case, once now notepad is visible. Huh. Okay. See, in this example, what we have done is I have just wrote int a is equal to 10, right? So I'm saying that now I have created an integer variable called a, right? When I have created an integer variable a, now it will be having a capacity to hold only whole numbers. It cannot hold any fraction numbers, right? So now what I have done is I have given some description for this particular a, saying that you are of a type int, you will be holding only the integer values, right? You cannot hold some floating point or a fraction values. Okay, even if you are pouring some fraction values also, it will be holding only integer, the fraction will be discarded, right? So in this case, whatever the thing you have defined, this is int, right? So this particular int is called as your data type, right? So what a data type says means, here in this case int is a data type, right? So what does the int says? Int says that whichever variable you are creating, it has a capacity to hold only integer numbers, right? If I'm declaring any variable as a float x, right? In that case I have assigned, now I don't want to assign, that is up to me, right? In this case, I am creating a variable called a x, which is of a type of float, right? When I say a float, now x has got a capacity to hold the values in a fraction also, right? For the x, even if you are assigning some integers, no problem, it will be saved as 10 point some fraction only, right? So what I have done is I have specified that x is of type float, right? X is of a type float which can hold a fraction numbers, right? So what if you see this particular name itself, what is the name of this one? Data type, right? Data is nothing but the values which you want to put, right? Either you are interested in putting a whole number or a fraction number, what kind of a what kind of a value you want to put, that is nothing but a data, right? So type specifies, so means that value is nothing but a data, 10, 10.5, 2.5, all those values are nothing but a data. Type specifies means what kind of a value you are holding, that is nothing but a data type, right? So int is a data type which will make a variable to hold integer numbers. Float is a data type which will make a variable to hold a fraction values. Got idea?
Yes, sir.
Clear with a definition explanation for a data type?
Yes, sir.
So we are discussing the similar thing, like the similar kind of a stuff with respect to a Java. In a Java, we are saying that it is a strongly typed. That means whenever you are creating a variable, data type need to be specified. Whenever expression has been evaluated, data type will be cross-checked, right? Whenever you are doing assignments, in an example, I have done some int a is equal to 10, right? So when I'm assigning a 10 to a, it will be checking whether 10 can be assigned to a or not, right? So that is the assignment. When you are calling a function, sum of a comma b, that means a and b should match with the formal parameters of a function call. If you are not able to understand this parameter passing, don't worry. right? So but keep in mind that everywhere whenever you are performing some action, whenever you are putting some value into another variable, everywhere the data type will be checked. Okay, so who will be doing that particular part? So your Java compiler checks all expressions and the parameters to ensure that the types are compatible, right? If you have declared some variable as an int, then it will make sure that you are putting an integer value into it. If you have declared any variable as a float, it will make sure that you are putting some floating point value itself into that particular variable, right? Any type mismatches or errors that must be corrected, right? If there are any issues with respect to a mismatch or anything need to be corrected, that will be done before the compiler will finish compiling the class, right? If there are any mismatch, because you will be running your program in two stages. First you will be compiling, then you will be running the program, right? So compilation will actually check for a syntax errors. If you are missing any semicolon, if you are missing any small letters, instead of writing capital letter, if you have written a small letter, all those errors will be checked at a compile time, right? It is saying that even this particular type mismatch also will be done during a compile time itself, right? So what it is doing is it is taking a precaution that when you are running application, there will not be any mismatch with respect to data types. Okay, so during a compilation, everything will be taken care, right? So with respect to Java, you have a few primitive types, means already existing primitive types are supported in a Java, right? So what are those already existing primitive types? You have an integer, right? You will be specifying a data type as an int, right? So all those primitive data types are actually supported with respect to a Java. We'll have just a quick glance on those data types, right? Integers. This group includes byte, short, int, and a long. Okay, all these four different data types, I'm saying all these four different data types will be holding only the whole number, not any fraction, because this particular data type is of integers, right? To hold integers, it has given you four different data types, right? Floating point numbers. If you want to hold a floating point numbers, it has given you two different data types. One is a float and the second one is a double. To hold the characters, you have a one data type, which is a char. To hold the Boolean values, you have only one data type, which is called as a Boolean, right? So these are, means if somebody asks you what are the primitive data types, whatever you are seeing here, byte is a primitive data type, short is a primitive data type, int is a primitive data type, long is a primitive data type, float, double, char, Boolean, right? All these things are primitive data types. Primitive data type in the sense basic, that means that will come with a programming language. Primitive in the sense basic data types. Using these basic data type, you might be creating some other data types, means combination of these things you'll be making it as some customized data type. Those things are possible, right? Primitive in the sense basic, right? So what are the things that are basically supported by this particular language? Clear? We have to discuss in detail, like what is the range of a byte, what is the range of a short, what is the range of a int, what is the range of a long, everything. Okay, so if anybody asks you what are the primitive data types, these are the primitive data types, and these are the categories. Okay, so this byte belong to a category called integer, this short primitive data type belong to a category called integers, this int primitive data type belong to a category called integers, this long primitive data type belong to a category called integers, right? Byte, by the name itself it says that byte is nothing but it's a group of 8 bits. 8 bits will make a 1 byte, right? So that is the data type provided for you. right? So what it is saying is this is the smallest integer type is byte, right? This is signed 8-bit type. Already I told you combination of a 8 bits will make you 1 byte. Okay, that has a range from -128 to 127, right? Whenever you are declaring any variable as a byte, say for example you have declared byte a, right? So now variable a, which is of a type byte, can have the values only in the range of a -128 to 127. Hope this is clear. Any explanation required on this particular point? Means why I have stopped at this particular point and asking you uh, do you require any explanation, because later you should not be in a position to remember by heart these particular numbers, right? When you say 8-bit means you are using a particular, means 8 bits to represent a particular number, right? Just assume that you have a 8 empty places in front of you. If you are putting all ones in those 8 places, right? So what will be the maximum value? What I am saying is, if you have a 8 empty slots in front of you, and if you are putting all ones into that particular 8 empty slots, can I say that the maximum value is 2 raised to 8? Right? So what is the value of a 2 raised to 8 now? 256, right? So that means now you have got a capacity to hold 256 numbers, right? So you cannot always see, we have calculated a count from a 0 to 256, right? So every positive number was means considered. Now you will be having a position where you need to store a negative numbers also, right? So negative numbers also, if you want to store, means what might be the maximum capacity? 28, right? So the same thing has been written here. Once you say something as a 8 bit, once you say something as a 8 bit, you will be having a capacity to hold 2 raised to 8, whatever is the number, 2 raised to 8, those many numbers you can store, right? So that will be the range. Okay, so you have a range from -128 to 127. That makes 256 possible combinations, which is equal to 2 raised to 8. Hope that made sense. So this particular byte data type especially useful when you are working with a stream of a data from a network or a file. That means whenever you want to save some file, uh, then the file will not be saved directly. It will be converted into a byte format. Then a byte information will be saved. Okay. If you want to store some image into a file, it will not be directly stored as a direct JPG or a PNG, all those things. Rather internally it will be converted into a byte format, then it will be saved, right? So whenever you are transferring some information in the network, so it will not be saved, it will not be sent directly, rather it will be converted to a byte of a streams, then a byte of a streams will be transferred, right? This is also useful when you are working with the raw binary data. So that is what I told you. If you, even if you have some binary information, it will be transferred or stored in a byte format itself. Okay. So this is an example of a declaring a some variable as a byte. You will be writing a data type called a byte, then whichever variable name you want to give, that particular name you will be giving. So any questions with respect to a byte data type?
Sir, can you repeat the third point?
Which one? Third point.
Yeah.
Okay. So this particular byte data type also useful when you are working with a raw binary data that may not be directly compatible with Java's other built-in types. Say for example, you have stored some information in a binary format. When the picture of a byte comes is when you are dealing with the files. Say for example, you have stored some file. The file is having a information in a format of a bytes. That means binary, zeros and ones are there. That means I have some file. So in that file, the information is in a binary format. Okay. Now you want to give that particular file as an input to some library in a Java. Okay. So that particular library will not be reading it as a binary file. Rather, that binary information will be converted to a byte format. Then it will process that particular file. Right. So what it is saying is, this particular point is saying is, Java built-in types means when you are adding some binary data, so that will be taken as a byte information, then it will be processed.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions with respect to byte data type? Because we will be seeing a similar kind of a points with respect to other data types also. Okay. The next data type is a short. See, the byte was using a 8-bit type, right? So let us see how the short, so means how many bits does a short will use. Okay. So short is using 16-bit type, right? So when it is using a 16-bit type, then obviously it will be a 2 raised to 16, right? 2 raised to 16 is a some 64,000 some value. Half of that one, so it is in a range of minus 32,768 to a plus 32,767, right? So how this particular number has came, so means the intention is you should not have had this information. You will be just performing a 2 raised to 16, whatever the number you will get, divide by 2, right? So half of a portion for the negative numbers and a half of a portion for the positive numbers. That is the reason why you are dividing by a 2, right? It is probably the least used Java data type, right? Most of the times you are not going to use a short. Means if you have a specific requirement, or if you are concerned with respect to a value, so means concerned with respect to any variable and assure that it will be having only this much value, not more than this, then you can go with a short, right? So most of the times this is not used. Example of making any variable as a short is, you need to write a keyword called a short followed by whatever the identifier name you want to give for it, right? Which is the next data type? It's a int. Int is the most used data type with respect to any programming language. Keep this point in mind, right? So byte was taking a 8 bits. Question in a chat box. Sir, can we say primitive data types are mutable data types? Yes, you can say. Can you give examples in both? Examples for what? For a byte and a short? See, we are just talking about a data type. If I want to give an example of this particular data type, it will be just a kind of a declaration. Right? If you want to create some byte variable, then it will be a keyword. So means you will be typing a keyword called a B, then you will be specifying some identifier, right? Once you make any identifier as a byte, right? Now A is a byte. What is the range The range is a maximum of a minus 128 to a plus 127. This is a maximum range. Now what we have done is we have created a variable called a, and it can hold the values in the range of a minus 128 to plus 127, right? Anywhere in your program, in any of the operations if you are doing, you cannot assign the value of a variable a which is 128 positive or which is less than that particular 128, that is 129. Even if you are just crossing this range, these values will remain invalid, right? If your operations are within this particular range, that is minus 128 to a plus 127, then you can declare any variable as a. That means any variable as a byte. Didn't understood anything? You didn't get whatever I explained. Okay. Leave about all these things. Suppose I wanted to perform some operation in the sense some expression I want to evaluate, right? I have taken a is equal to some 122. A is this value and b is some 100, right? Now I wanted to perform addition of these two, right? So how to perform addition of these two? Then it will be c is equal to a plus b. I am not nowhere discussing the concept of a data type and all. Right? I am nowhere discussing the concept of what is a data type and all. Right? When I want to do a plus b, then answer will be a 122 plus 100. Right? So what will be the answer now? 222 is the answer. Right? Whenever the answer is the 222, your system will not store this particular 222 as it is, right? This particular information answer, whatever you have got, that will be converted to a binary, right? Now you decide what will be the some means how many number of bits are required to store this particular 222, right? So that is one thing. Let me finish explanation, then I'll answer questions in the chat box, right? So I'm just explained you what is the procedure, how the system will be evaluating a certain expression, right? What I said is I have two values, one is a 122 and another one is a 100. Now I want to perform an addition of those two. When I perform an addition of those two, I got some number, right? So that number will not be saved directly into a system, rather it will be converted to a binary, right? So when you are converting it to a binary, you just think how many number of bits it requires. That is one thing. Now coming to the byte point. Byte is a data type. We said that it will be using 8 bits, right? We said that 8 bits in the sense it will be having a capacity to hold values of 8 raised to means 2 raised to 8. Okay, we said that 2 raised to 8 is nothing but 256, right? So what is the conclusion? It can have value that is maximum of a 256, right? Now we are not going to deal with only positive numbers, we will be dealing with the negative numbers also. So what we have done is we have divided this 256 by 2, saying that half of a portion is for a negative numbers and a half of a portion is for a positive numbers. So our range came something like this, minus 128 to a plus 127. This makes your 256 values combination. right? Now you just compare this particular conclusion with respect to this particular range, right? So with respect to this particular operation, what was the value we got? 222. Is that a positive number or a negative number? Positive number. What is the maximum capacity of any variable which is of a byte? Positive, it can hold a 127 only. In a negative, it can hold it in 128. That means now, can I make variable C as a byte? The content of a C is a 222, right? If you are making any variable as a byte, it can hold only till 127. Now, can I make a variable C as a byte? No, not possible, because its maximum range is a 127 in a positive numbers. So in this expression, if I want to evaluate this kind of expression, yes, ultimately it will be storing in a binary itself, but my variable should not be a C. This means my variable cannot be a byte. You cannot take C as a byte, right? So do you have any other data type for this one? Because my answer has came to 222. I want some data type which can hold that particular range, right? Do you have something called as a short? Yes, short can hold a 16 bits, right? When I say 16 bits, it will be a 2 raised to 16, right? So 2 raised to 16 is that only I told you. I'll finish my explanation first, then I'll see questions from a chat box, right? When I'm making any variable as a short, then the capacity will be it will be getting a capacity of a 16 bits. When we say 16 bits, the maximum value that can be hold is 2 raised to 16. What is the value of a 2 raised to 16? Let me just calculate, because I'm not that much Shakuntala Devi. 16 bits, right? 16.
65536.
Wow, thank you. 65536. 65536. Now out of these particular 65536, I need to have both positive numbers and negative numbers, right? 65536 divided by 2. What is the range now? 32,000.
7 3 2 7
One second. Minus 32,000.
7
7
6 8.
6 8.
Yes, sir.
To positive 32,767. This is the range. Now what I'm saying is, if you are making any variable as a short, then it can hold values within this range. That means for this particular operation of a C, calculating A plus B, which is of a 222, is it within the range of a short? If it is within the range of a short, then you can make variable C as of a type short. Hope you understood, right? Just have an imagination. Well, once we are saying any variable is of some data type, okay, say for example, byte is, you just consider that a byte is a small container, right? Or you consider something like it is a half-liter water bottle, right? Byte in the sense small. It is a half-liter water bottle. If you have a 600 ml of a water, you cannot put that particular 600 ml of a water into a half-liter bottle. You require a bigger one, right? Bigger one, which is the bigger one? I am telling that short is of a 16 bits, right? So with respect to our example, let us consider that if you are saying something as a short, it has a capacity of a 1 liter, okay? And I beg you and request from my side, if anybody asks you questions on what is a data type, don't give an analogy of half-liter bottle and 1 liter bottle, and don't write this one as an answer anywhere also, okay? So just for understanding, I am telling you. Byte means which is having a container which is having a small capacity, say some 500 ml. Short is nothing but a container which is having a bigger capacity, say 1 liter, right? When you have a 700 ml of a water to be poured, then 1 liter container is enough to pour that particular 700 ml, right? If you have a more content which is greater than a 1 liter also, then you need to have a bigger container, right? So how you are gauging a container is a bigger based on the number of bits has been allocated for it, right? 8 bits is a smaller container, 16 bits is a bigger container. If you have a more than that, then it will be again a bigger container. If you have a more than that, then again it will be another bigger container, right? So this is my explanation. If you have any questions, you can post now. Clear with the explanation whatever I have given with respect to data type? Clear with the concept? Okay, shall we proceed further with the int? If you have this particular clear idea, I'll tell you, it will be easy for you to remember what are the points we will be discussing with respect to other data types, right? So quickly we will see the int data type, right? Byte was taking a 8 bits and the short was taking a 16 bits. Don't forget that. We will see how much space will be occupied for a particular variable which has been declared as an int. Okay, so the most commonly used integer type is int. It is a signed 32-bit, right? Have this particular number in your mind, right? Byte was a 8-bit, short was a 16. Now this has become double 32-bit, right? So when it is a 32-bit, what value, maximum value it can store? It can store 2 raised to 32. That will be a maximum value. It will be something like a 4 comma some big value. If you want to store both positive and a negative, then divide that particular number by 2. You will be getting range for a negative and this is a range for a positive, right? You got idea now. I think this is a bigger container when compared to a short, right? Variables of a type int are commonly employed to control loops and to index arrays. So these are the places where you will be using this particular ints more. Okay. A question in the chat box, Kevin, sir, why is the range finite? Why not infinite? Everything is nothing but a memory, right? Actually, this is a very interesting aspect which I feel to explain. And this is the concept where most of the people will neglect. Means they will not be bothered about why that particular thing is a byte, bit, all those stuff, right? Keep one thing in mind. Whatever we do, the operations, everything is with respect to the memory, right? Now, when you say int is occupying a 32-bit in the sense, can I say that when you say 8 values means 8-bit makes a, say that int will take 4 bytes, correct, right? 8 4 is 32. That means if you are declaring any variable as an int, then it will be occupying a 4 bytes. Imagination is required to understand the explanation. Actually, that is a beautiful question asked. If I'm saying int a, now a will be having, just have an imagination that a has got some 32-bit locations, means like this, it has got a 32 locations. That means it is occupying a space of 4 bytes, right? The question what he asked is why there is a restriction of only 4 bytes, why not it is infinite, right? Problem is, I'll tell you, you are using a 32-bit representation for some number, 32-bit representation. That means if I want to store just a number 1, right, decimal value number 1, this decimal value number 1 will not be stored as it is in the system. It will be considered, it will be converted to a binary, right? So what is a binary equivalent of a 1? It is 001. Or else if it was confusing, let us take the number which you want to store is a 2. So what is a binary representation of a 2? That is 10. That is a binary equivalent of a 2, right? Now this 10 will not be just saved as a 10, rather it will be saved using 32-bit. 32-bit in the sense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, 21, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Only these last 2 digits will be replaced by 10. This is how it will be stored in a system. Okay. Now, if I want to store 3, how the 3 will be stored? It will be stored like 1, 1, right? How this particular 1, 1 will be stored? Let me copy complete thing, paste. This is 3. After this, I told to perform 2 plus 3. What is the 2 plus 3? It has to take all these things, right? Bit by bit, it has to perform addition, binary addition, right? So now can I say that if it is using a 32-bit representation to get an answer for a 2 plus 3, it has to do a 32 additions with respect to bits. Obviously it has to do, even if you have a zeros here, even if this particular portion is not affecting, then also it has to perform all the things because it will not be knowing what might be the situation, right? Just assume that if you have a infinite number of bits for a representing a particular number, then you need to perform an infinite number of operations to get the answer, right? If you are restricting yourself to the specified data type, that means for this particular 2, if I'm using just a 8-bit representation, right, how nice it will be. If I'm using a 8-bit representation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 2 will be replaced by 1, 0. For this particular 3, if I'm using 8-bit representation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, last 2 will be repeated, right? Now if I want to perform, how many number of additions I need to perform on these things? I need to perform only 8 additions. If I'm considering it as an int, I need to perform a 32 additions. Here if I want to consider an addition, then I'll be doing only 8 additions. Are you reducing the time taken for getting an answer? When you are reducing the time taken for getting an answer, obviously the performance has been increased. Understood the concept? So it is most recommended to use suitable data type for a particular variable, right? It is recommended to use suitable data type for a particular variable, correct? So based on a requirement, based on the operations that you are going to perform, you have to choose whichever data type is feasible for that particular operation. Okay, so short means byte was the smallest integer data type, it was occupying 8 bits. Short is the next smallest, so means when next largest to the byte, it was occupying 16 bits. Now int is occupying a 32 bits, right? So most of our times when you want to do a looping, there you will be using a int itself, right? While index of arrays, there also you will be using integer, right? So the next data type which you have is a long. So long is a signed 64-bit data type, 64-bit type, right? So I hope you are able to imagine now, right? If you are making any variable as a long, then you will be having 64 bits for representing that particular number, right? Even if you are representing a 0 2 also in a long, then it will be occupying 64 bits, and the last 2 bits will be only the value of it, right? So the range of a long is quite large, right? This makes it useful when a big whole numbers are needed, right? When you are getting values, so means when you are doing operations with respect to larger values, then it is recommended to go with a long data type. Okay, so whatever the things we have discussed with respect to individual, everything has been tabulated. So long will be occupying a 64-bit width. So this is the range of that particular long value. So this is the maximum range you can give for the long.
Sir,
Yes.
please can you explain about signed and unsigned integer as you are using the term?
Signed and unsigned in the sense, signed integer means you are considering positive and negative numbers. Unsigned in the sense, I am not bothered about whether it is a positive or negative. That will be only positive number, right? So previously we have written something like this.
Please.
We have said signed 64-bit, right? Here we have said signed 32-bit. When you are saying a signed, that means we are bothered about positive and negative numbers, right? When we are saying that we are bothered about the positive numbers, the range will be in a minus to plus. Sir, why bits are increasing in the order of 4, 16, 32, 64, 128 only? Because we are dealing with a binary environment, right? If you are increasing a 1 bit also, then it will be a 2 to the power of something. That is the reason why it is increasing 8, 16, 32, 64. Clear with a signed?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Signed means we are considering a sign, positive number, negative numbers, right? When you are considering a sign, then a range obviously will be from a negative to positive. That will be range from this point to that point. Okay. So this is the table with respect to a category integers, right? So we had a 4 categories: integer, floating, then character, then boolean. Out of these 4 categories, we have discussed the integer data types. Oh, very good question in the chat box. Sir, why everything can't come under long? So that is what I have explained you, Santosh. See, if you are doing a small operation, also for a small operation, that is for just adding a 2 plus 3. If you are making a variable as long, right, then you need to perform so many additions, right? 64 additions. After the 64 additions, you will come to know that the answer is a 5, right? So that particular 2 plus 3 even can be done by declaring a variable as a byte. If you are declaring it as a byte, only in 8 steps you will get the answer. At the same time, if you are declaring variable as a long, then you need 64 additions to come to a conclusion. Again, if you want to have a clear idea, I'll tell you, just consider imagination. Don't write anywhere. I swear, if you are writing, then somebody will definitely ask like, who taught you some programming language, right? What I mean to say is, just consider that this byte is nothing but a small data type. This is some half-liter water bottle. This is a 1 liter of water bottle. This is a 2 liters water bottle. This is a 5 liter can. right? Now, if you want to travel and you want a water for a drinking, right? So if you are at some occasion, say for example, you are attending some meeting, something like that, right? You will not be drinking enough amount of water. You might be attending a meeting for some half an hour or some 1 hour, right? So in that particular half an hour or 1 hour, if a person feels thirsty, then this particular half liter of a water bottle will serve the need. It will serve the need. Say for example, you are in a traveling. This means traveling at from one place to another place, and the duration is some 3 hours or 4 hours. During that particular 3 hours or 4 hours duration, you might be needed a water more number of times. In that case, you require a container which is larger than that particular half liter. So based on requirement, I have kept this, right? Now you are having some party, so a number of people are coming. You cannot hold half liter bottle for everyone, so you have ordered some 2 liters cool drink, correct? Now you have some other requirement where you some means group of people are traveling from one place to another place, so these half liter bottles will not serve the purpose, so you have taken some 5 liter can, right? So based on the duration, this is for a meeting, this is for a 3 hours traveling, this is for a party where a number of people are there, this is for a long rides with a number of people. Based on a requirement, are you taking a different containers? You are not carrying a 5 liter can for the small meeting of some 10 to 15 minutes, right? If you just imagine, you are attending a class, some means regular class, offline class, interactive class. This is also interactive. Thanks for your questions, but I'm just giving a question. Assume that for the classroom, generally you will be carrying a 1 liter bottle short. Assume that you got an idea like this may not be sufficient. It will be good to have some plenty of water. Then just assume that you are entered a class by carrying a 5 liter can, right? People will tell like, hardly you might be having a water for 2 or 3 times. Why you are carrying that 5 liter can? What is the necessity of that one, right? So based on the purpose, based on the quantity, how much you want to store, you will be taking a suitable data type. Hope I was able to relate the concepts, and I hope whatever the things I have discussed, I tried my level best to convey the things.